This is the unit test from Glarup's new levels 4. And today we are going to look at this test. We're not going to do the whole thing because the whole thing is supposed to take around 90 minutes to complete. And we will be doing most of it though, which should take around 45 to 1 hour approximately. Okay, and this test includes grammar, it includes vocabulary and some reading. But just because it says reading doesn't mean that it only tests your reading comprehension. It will also test vocabulary and grammar. So they're all kind of connected. Let's start with A, grammar. Choose A, B, or C. I will read the questions and the alternatives. Afterwards, I will give the correct answer. All you have to do is, write down what you think or keep it in your head. All right. Number 1, was anything in the box? No. A, something. B, everything. C, nothing. Number 2, I told him that he very tired. A, looked. B, looking. C, look. 3, he in front of a TV at the moment. A, sits. B, is sitting. C, sit. Number 4, they to America next week. A, are flying. B, flew. C, flying. 5, he golf when he was younger. A, has played. B, used to play. C, used to play. Used and use sound similarly. 6, you used to read a lot when you were a kid. A, have. B, did. C, do. Number 7, she traveled to the seaside train. A, with. B, on. C, by. Number 8, we stayed in Paris over a week. A, at. B, near. C, for. 9, the post office is the school and the bank. A, from. B, between. C, under. 10, she, be a great teacher. A, to go. B, is going to. C, goes to. And if you think I'm going too fast, you can pause and think about the answer and then press play again. Let's look at the correct answers right away. A, number 1, was anything in the box? No, nothing. Something and everything are positives, något, allt. C is negative. So if you say no, you should say nothing. No, nothing. 2, I told him that he looked very tired. Yes, here you should use the past tense. Looking is the continuous tense. He is looking at the moment. And look is the present tense. Look is the past tense, preteritum. And you should use it because I told him. This is in the past tense. You should not mix tenses. You shouldn't use the present tense and then the past tense in this. Well, you can, but these are reserved for kind of sentences. 3, he is sitting in front of TV. Um, is sitting is correct because we get a clue here at the moment. Okay, right now. If something is happening right now, you should use the continuous tense is sit. He sits is the present tense and it is used for when situations are permanent or routine or plans. Sit is grammatically incorrect. 4, they are flying to America next week. This is correct. You use the continuous tense when you're planning something, but there is no real timetable. Next week is not a timetable. The timetable is, for example, when you are looking at when the trains are departing. For example, you have specific time. They flew to America next week doesn't make any sense because next week is the future and flew is the past. They flying is grammatically incorrect. 5, he used to play golf when he was younger. When you are talking about things that used to happen or that you did a long time ago without any specific time, you can use used to play. Brukade spela. Has played is for an action that is completed. And used to play is grammatically incorrect because used to play is the present tense and was younger is the past tense. He used to play golf when he was younger. This is not a specific time in the past, just in the past. 6, B, did. Did you read a lot when you were a kid? Have you used is not correct. Do you use is the present. When you were a kid, that's the past. Did you used to read a lot? And why is it did you use instead of used? It would be the same as in Swedish. Brukade du spelade? You don't use two past tense in a row. Number 7, she traveled to the seaside by train. Yeah. In Swedish, you would say with, but in English is by. Prepositions are difficult because sometimes you can translate them from Swedish, directly. Sometimes you cannot. Number 8, we stayed in Paris for over a week. For over a week. I över en vecka. In over a week would be the Swedish one, but in English it's for over a week. The post office is between the school and the bank. The other ones are not correct. She is going to be a great teacher. The other ones are grammatically incorrect. They do not mean anything. She is going to be a great teacher means she will be a great teacher. Is going to is future to, kommer att. Very good, very good. Let's go to the second one, grammar B. Fill in the gaps with one word. And it says grammar, reading, and writing, but this is probably just as much about vocabulary. Because if you don't know what words to put here, you're not going to be able to, even though you're very good at that. Number 1, we are go to university in October. 2, he's homeless and sleeps a bridge in London. 3, you behave well at school. 4, did your granddad smoke a pipe? Number 5, his breakfast at the moment. 6, we are really tired, so going to bed early tonight. 7, there was in the room, not one person. Number 8, they told the children that they making too much noise. 9, eat sugar and fat if you want to lose weight. 10, an umbrella with you. It's raining hard. And raining hard is the same as raining heavily or raining a lot. It's just a figure of speech. Okay, now let's look at the answers. Number one, we are going to go to university in October. We are going to, kommer att, going to go, kommer att åka, eller kommer att börja universitetet. Number two, he's homeless and sleeps on a bridge? No, under a bridge. Much better. Under a bridge in London. Number three. Here there are two answers. You could, did you behave well at school? Uppförde du dig i skolan? But you can also say, do you behave well at school? There is nothing to say that this could be it could be either one of them. So choose, do or did. Number four, did your granddad use to smoke a pipe? Used to, brukade, or brukade att. Brukade att is not what we say in Swedish, but it would be the grammatic. Did your granddad used to smoke a pipe? Brukade din farfar röka? Number five, well, here you can choose from a variety of different words. You can say he's eating breakfast at the moment. He is eating breakfast at the moment. Again, at the moment means he's doing it right now, and you should use the continuous tense. Is eating, is having, but you could also choose is cooking, is making, is preparing. Yeah, so you have a lot of words. Number six, we are really tired. So we are, but you're only supposed to write one word. So we're going to bed early tonight. We're, and we're is the short version of we are. Okay. 7, there are nobody or no one in the room, not one person. There was nobody or no one. There was no one in the room. There was nobody in the room. Yep. They told the children that they were making too much noise. It is not are, it is were, because they told, the past tense, they told the children that they were making too much noise. Göra oväsen, gjorde oväsen. Number 9, yeah, don't. Don't is one word, but it's short for do not, which is poor, but don't eat sugar. In fact, if you want to lose weight, don't. And the last one could be take an umbrella with you or have an umbrella with you. It's not the best choice, however, but you could also say bring an umbrella or carry an umbrella. Take an umbrella is probably the best one. All right, let's go to the next one, which is vocabulary. And vocabulary is, I think it's underrated, actually. I think we are spending too little time with vocabulary. Vocabulary is really important. Why? Well, because firstly, if you don't know enough all the words, you won't be able to understand. You won't be able to understand. You will have trouble finding words to say, but it's also very important for listening. When we are listening, the reason why we can't keep up is because it's not because we don't know the words. Stop and think about the words, and when we do, we lose the flow. We lose the flow of the conversation. We lose the flow of listening. Yeah, choose A, B, or C. One. A synonym of wealthy. A synonym of wealthy is A, very rich, B, well-dressed, C, respected. The opposite, another word for opposite is antonym, by the way. The opposite of illegal is A, alien, B, illegitimate, C, lawful. 3. His and I know one. I know another. 3. His hands were covered with oil. They were A. Clean. B. Smooth. C. Greasy. 4. The baby, the paper into small pieces. The baby ripped. A. Ripped. B. Made. C. Did. 5. You shouldn't eat between meals. You shouldn't eat A. Groceries. B. Snacks. C. Vinegar. 6. A synonym of obese is A. Slender. B. Overweight. C. Careless. 7. The fish and chips were in newspaper. A. Tied. B. Wrapped. Wrapped. C. Folded. 8. The opposite of fair play is A. Elite. B. Approximate. C. Cheating. The opposite of fair play. 9. An annual event takes place every A. Year. B. 2 years. C. 10 years. 10. An opportunity. Opportunity is when you get to do something. A. Venue. B. Take place. C. Chance. Okay. Here we go. A synonym of wealthy is very rich. There are other words that you can say as well. You can say, affluent, for example, or just rich. But wealthy means that you have wealth, förmögenhet. So very rich, you have a lot of things or money. 2, the opposite of illegal is C, lawful. Illegal means olaglig. Lawful means, it means that you follow the law, but I don't think this is a very good opposite. I would say the opposite of illegal is legal, laglig. The true opposite of awful would be law breaking or lawbreaker or criminal, for example. But it doesn't matter. The opposite of illegal here is lawful. Illegitimate. Illegitimate means that it is not real. Legitimate is the real and lawfully real thing. Illegitimate. So, for example, you can have if someone makes coffee for his friends and someone else wants a cup of coffee, you could say that he wants it illegitimately. It's not his coffee. It's mostly used for documents and claims when you want something, from like a lawyer firm. Never mind. Number 3, his hands were covered with oil. They were very. Are they clean? No, they're covered with oil. Are they smooth? Well, yeah, I guess they are smooth. If you oil something up, it will be smooth. But they are greasy, and greasy means oljiga. Grease is another word for like oil or butter or fat. Fettig, I guess you could say as well. So greasy is the correct word. Oil and grease are synonyms. The baby, the paper into small pieces. Made and did, no. He ripped. When you rip something is when you tear something apart. You shouldn't eat snacks between meals. Groceries. Groceries is what you buy at ICA or Hemköp, for example. Handla varor. And vinegar is vinäger. It's not very good. Synonym of obese. So a word that means the same as obese is overweight, överviktig. Obese would be fet, or I think you can say obese Swedish fet, or fetma. Slender means that you are thin, and careless is when you don't care. The fish and chips were in newspaper. They were tied. No, folded. Tied is when something is at the same level. You're tied for the lead. So two people are running equally fast. You're tied. Folded means that you fold something. When you fold clothes, for example, vika. Wrapped. Wrapped is when you put something around something else, like paper, like you wrap presents in gift paper, for example, linda in, slå in. The opposite of fair play is cheating, of course. Approximate means almost or near. So let's say I have $9 in my pocket. I have approximately $10. An annual event takes place every year, and you can get this from annual, anno, so year. But it's every year. 10 years are called a decade, and 2 years, I don't know what. An opportunity is when you get a chance to do something. Möjlighet, tillfälle. A venue is a place where you go to do something, like a music venue. They play music there. Or like a party venue. They organize parties. All right. That's enough of grammar and vocabulary. I think we should move on to reading. Let's read this one. Read a presentation about youth culture in the USA and choose true or false. Yeah, so it continues on the next page. True or false. So either yes or no, basically. I will read it. If you want to, you can pause it and read it yourself to get some extra practice on pronunciation. What do we really know about teenagers today in the US, which is a group of more than 30 million 12 to 19-year-olds? Can we accurately describe today's youth culture in a way that makes sense to everybody, including the teens themselves? Some people think that teenagers are better than their teachers and parents at using technology. On the other hand, others worry that they are too secretive, and if they are not closely supervised, they could become as dangerous and violent as characters in the video games they play. According to a recent survey, more than 7 in 10 adults think that teenagers are rude, irresponsible, or wild. Additionally, many adults say that teens lack values and character. This is in contrast to the majority of teens in the same survey who feel that they have good relationship with their parents and other adults. Many schools also have a negative view of teenagers. For example, in a survey of nearly 500 high school teachers, 90% say that cheating is a problem in exams, and 50% that they find students cheating in most of their cases. Sorry. However, others argue that these negative comments do not match reality. Statistics show that teenage crime rates are lower and fewer teens become pregnant, drink alcohol, or use drugs than 10 years ago. Okay. Here you can pause and read the text yourself. If you find any words that are new to you or that you don't, and you're not completely sure about them, you can look them up. All right, let's look at the answers. Or sorry, let's look at the questions, and then we'll look at the answers. Number 1, there are at least 30 million teenagers in North America. 2, some adults think that young people are more tech savvy than they are. Tech savvy means that they're good at technology. Some adults think that young people are more tech savvy or better at technology than they are. Number three, other adults think it's a problem that teens don't talk about what they are doing. They don't talk about what they're doing, they keep it to themselves. Number four, some adults worry that video games can make teens violent. Five, nearly half of all adults think that teenagers are not polite. Six, the majority of teens feel that their relationships with their parents are not good. So the majority, most of them. All right. Number seven, most schools say negative things about teenagers. Eight, a lot of teachers claim that their students cheat. Nine, there is less teenage crime now than before. 10, more teens drink alcohol or use drugs than 10 years ago. Great. Now, let's look at the answers, and we will also look at them in the text. What is often the problem with reading is vocabulary. So here they say tech savvy, which means good at technology. They don't talk about what they're doing. That phrase is not mentioned in the text. They say secretive, for example. But yeah, number one, there are at least 30 million teenagers in North America, which is true. More than 30 million, 12 to 19-year-olds. In the US, the problem here is that North America includes Canada and Mexico. So it's probably more like 50 or 60 million teenagers in North America, but there are at least, minst 30 million teenagers. So that is true. Two, some adults think that young people are more tech savvy than they are, which is also true. They are better than their teachers and parents at using technology. Great. Three, other adults think it's a problem that teens don't talk about what they're doing. Also true. Others worry that they are too secretive. Secretive, hemlighetsfulla. A secret, hemlighet. Secretive, keeping secrets. If they are not closely supervised, watched. To supervise is to watch. Four, some adults worry that video games can make teens violent. They could become as dangerous and violent as the characters in the video games they play. So that is also true. Some adults worry about that. Five, nearly half of all the adults think that teenagers are not polite. Is that true? More than 7 in 10 adults think that teenagers are rude, irresponsible, and wild. So it's not half, it's 70%. So it's false. 5 is false. Nearly half. It's 7 in 10, so it's way more than half. The majority of teens feel that their relationship with their parents are not good. False. It is not true because the majority of teens in the same survey feel that they have good relationship with parents and other parents. So number 6 is false. Number 7, most schools say negative things about teenagers. And fortunately, some fortunately, it's false. Many schools also have negative view of teenagers. For example, a survey of 500 schools that 90% say that cheating is a problem. However, other argue, okay. Most schools, how can that be false? Most schools, many schools Yeah, others argue that these in the comments do not match reality. Statistics show, okay, so they try to fool us here, but it's not most schools. Many schools, first of all, and the negative comments do not match reality. And that was a tough one. A lot of teachers claim that their students cheat. This is unfortunately true. What were they saying? 90% say that cheating is a problem. And 50% say that they find students cheating in most of their classes. That's not good. So that is unfortunately true. There is less teenage crime now than before. Yep, the crime rates are lower. That's good. More teens drink alcohol or use drugs than 10 years ago. In the same paragraph, we can read that this is not true. Fewer teens become pregnant. Fewer teens become pregnant, drink, or use drugs. So full. Okay, that was the first reading, and now we'll go to the last assignment, or last part. Again, it says grammar and vocabulary, but this is how to make text make sense. So I would say this is reading. Well, it doesn't matter. Now, read the blog post about how the media talks about young people in America. Complete the sentences. First letter of the missing word is given. Sometimes you can use more than one word, but yeah. Hi, guys. My name is Tom Blake, and I'm of journalism in Albany, New York. What I'd like to write about is the negative way the media talks about youth, ungdomar. Newspapers and TV programs show teens as uninterested in the around them, materialistic and anti-intellectual. I especially hate the stereotypes of young Black American men who are often depicted as hostile, criminal, violent, or only good at the time. Youth culture is everywhere in the media. Teenagers are big business in today's entertainment industry. For example, there is a huge number of teen movies and television shows which cater to a teen audience. They focus on the cater to. And of many films and TV series are getting younger and younger. Some young say they can even get a role if they look over 22. I think, though, that some TV shows are not about real teenage lives because the program maker is usually imagining what teenage life might be like. These shows focus on teens' social lives, and the typical teenager is portrayed as someone who just likes to have. TV networks recognize, they know, that teenagers are a big market and they want to exploit it to make money, of course. Yeah, I am inclined to agree with Tom Blake. All right. So let's fill in the missing words. And then I will actually read again. See if it flows and it makes sense. Okay. So hi guys, my name is Tom Blake and I'm of journalism in Albany, New York State or New York. I'm probably studying journalism, so a student. I'm a student of journalism because I'm a supporter of journalism, but kind of strange. So I'm a student of journalism. What I like to write about is the negative way the media talks about youth. Newspapers. I have something with newspapers, magazines, and TV programs, or Why not media? Newspapers, media, and TV programs show teens as uninterested in the world around them, världen omkring dem. Materialistic, materialister, and anti-intellectual. I especially hate the stereotypes of young black African American men. African American men. And they use black African American men. It's a little strange to say. It would be like to say, and Spence, but yeah, who are often depicted, they are shown as hostile. They, that is, hostile. They're rude, criminal, violent, or only good at sports. Only good at sports. At the time, at the same time, at the same time, it's a very, very good start of another. At the same time, youth culture is everywhere in the media. Okay, seniors are big business in today's entertainment industry. For example, there is a huge number of teen movies and television shows which cater to, so they focus on a teen audience. Audience would be like the people watching, and and the okay, and the stars of many films and TV series. Stars of yeah. It's a little informal to say stars of many films, but filmstjärnor. TV series are getting younger and younger. Some young, they can't get a role if they look over 22. Who can't get a role? Who wants roles? Actors or actresses. I think though that some TV shows are not about real teenage life because the program maker or the producer, program maker is also very. It's not the correct word actually as a producer or director. Is usually an adult imagining what so fantasizing about what teenage life might be like. These shows focus on teen social life, and the typical teenager is portrayed, so he's shown as someone who just likes to have fun. Yeah, fun. Now I'll read the whole thing again. If you want to, you can listen, and then you can pause and read it yourself. Hi guys, my name is Tom Blake, and I'm a student of journalism in Albany, New York. What I like to write about is the negative way the media talks about youth. Newspapers, media, and TV programs show teens as uninterested in the world around them, materialistic, and anti-intellectual. I especially hate the stereotypes of young black African American men, who are often depicted as hostile, criminal, violent, or only good at sports. At the same time, youth culture is everywhere in the media. Teenagers are big business in today's entertainment industry. For example, there is a huge number of teen movies and television shows which cater to a teen audience. And the stars of many film and TV series are getting younger and younger. Some young actors say that they can even get a role if they look over 22. I think, though, that some TV shows are not about real teenage lives because the program maker is usually an adult imagining what teenage life might be like. These shows focus on teen social life, and the typical teenager is portrayed as someone who just likes to have fun. TV networks recognize that teenagers are a big market and they want to exploit it to make money, of course. Yeah, pause it here if you want to read it yourself. The practice pronunciation. Oh, and that was it. Thank you for doing this test with me. Um, this is unit 2, so it's not supposed to be too difficult. But it is great practice, especially when it comes to the upcoming midterm test. So I hope this was useful to you, and I will see you next week. Bye.